Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. I'm Josh.
And I am Xander.
And today we want to talk about the very recent pardon for men convicted of homosexuality before it was legalised in 1967. I'm going to shoot that seagull. On the 31st of January 2017, the government finally signed into law a bill to posthumously pardon nearly 50,000 men who were wrongly convicted of homosexuality before its decriminalisation in 1967. But our problem is, pardon isn't exactly the right thing for it. There are two issues I have with it. One, the fact that it's a posthumous pardon. All of the men who are still alive who were convicted under that law are still registered as sex offenders, even though they were either just having...
Wait, excuse me?
Yes.
Are you serious? There are still men
Yes.
there are still men who are alive today who are still considered criminals?
Yes. Because there was a bill proposed by a Scottish MP, the name of which currently escapes me, to deal with this fact, to pardon all of the living people who were convicted under it, rather than the dead, because I'm sure it must be very comforting to the families of the deceased in order to have this, but they are dead. It doesn't affect them in the slightest. But these are adult human beings who are still alive and have to deal with the label of sex offender over their heads, not literally because they're not branded or anything, but they can't work with children. They can't work with
vulnerable adults. If they move into a new neighbourhood, they are legally obligated to go to every door and say, I'm a registered sex offender, I live here, and then they just get lynched.
So it's not fun for them. The bill that would pardon all the living men was struck down because the government, the Tory party, wanted to introduce a bill of their own to pardon all the deceased men, which, okay, if you want to try and have a show of making amends, that's one way to do it. But the dead's opinion really does not matter. They are not stuck with this for the rest of their lives because they're already over.
Exactly. So then these men are having to deal with this, as you say, this brand, this figurative brand on their foreheads of a crime that should have never even been, considered a crime. And why were people even opposed to this? It is not a crime anymore, therefore the idea of a pardon should be basic.
Yes, and it is incredibly annoying, and there were people still petitioning to get that pardon for the living. But I still say, fuck the pardon, we don't want it. Shove it up your arse, do whatever you want, but don't give it to us.
Sodomise yourself with that goddamn pardon for all I care.
Yes, because a pardon is being forgiven for a crime that was committed.
Exactly.
But this law should never have been around in the first place. It should never have been a crime for two men to be in love with one another, or just to have casual sex if they wanted to.
Exactly.
They harm no one. As long as it's between two consenting adults, there is no issue.
Exactly.
Of course, even when homosexuality was decriminalised, there were still different ages of consent. For a long time it was 18 for heterosexual or opposite sex couples, but 21 for same-sex couples after decriminalisation. Someone who, as far as they were aware, they were an adult, they could do whatever they want, couldn't be with their boyfriend because they could be put in prison for it.
Exactly.
Or given hefty fines.
But then it was brought down to the same age category as heterosexual couples at 18.
Yes.
And then 18 was then reduced to, is it 16 now?
16.
16.
They were both lowered to 16 together.
Yes.
It wasn't initially to 18.
Ah, right, okay. Personally, I believe the age of consent should have stayed at 18 because I don't believe a 16-year-old has the mental wherewithal to understand sexual relationships.
Very true, but they are going to try have sex at that age anyway.
True, I mean...
So it's best to avoid just rape allegations.
We're seeing 14-year-old girls pregnant with their second child now, and it's ridiculous.
That's not a new phenomenon.
I know.
What we want instead of a pardon is an apology, an open admission of the government that they were wrong, that they acted immorally, and in hindsight not necessarily illegally because it was legal, but against the spirit of justice to which our legal system claims to strive.
Exactly. I mean, the idea of us being pardoned but not being, apologised to, it's fucking absurd. Because they're like, well, we arrested you for this thing that used to be illegal, and it's not illegal anymore, so, we shouldn't have put you in prison. That's basically what they're saying about this. But they're not even saying sorry. There is no apology.
And I suppose the main reason they're not doing an apology is because if they do apologise, there is an admission of guilt, something which can be used in a court of law to sue them for money.
Exactly.
Which they are unwilling to do, which I understand, though, given how few people there are who are in that situation still alive anyway, it would not amount to a significant sum.
No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't.
It would be a gesture of reconciliation and of a desire to move past our previous crimes and idiocies and enter a new age where this sort of thing is opposed in any form. Because we have legal protections, yes, but we don't have same legal sentences. If someone is incorrectly prosecuted, they are and should be given reparations.
Exactly.
There has been no attempt for that.
No, there hasn't.
There's been no mention of it, no provision of it at all in this bill.
There has been absolutely nothing mentioned about trying to mend the damage.
We're not
caused, Well, trying to mend the damage caused by this absolute absurdity.
Have a biscuit.
Sorry, I get irate about this. I mean,
I am aware.
When the news first broke about this late last year, I got myself worked up into such a frustrated rage that I was, when you get so angry, you start crying tears of fury? I was doing that for about maybe 6-8 hours solid after reading the initial article about this.
I don't do that actually. I just get so angry, like my hands shake a little bit in my head. I might as well be setting the sky on fire. Anger brings to me, rather than tear or sorrow, an unbelievable amount of focus and
anger makes me break things.
No, I don't do that. I don't lash out with my anger anymore. I've controlled that because I used to hurt people.
I can imagine. I mean, you are rather large.
Well, I was meant I was a child.
Oh. Can I just make one final
How
note?
dare you?
The fact is, we as gay people should not accept this pardon willingly or with silence. We should only accept it when this pardon comes with an apology, because until then, they are still spitting in our faces. And we cannot lie down and take that, because if we do, it just shows they can walk all over us. And that stopped a long fucking time ago.
Yes. I mean, what was the first one? I can't remember. Some important event that happened in New York. Something to do...
Stonewall. Stonewall. Exactly, Stonewall. A film I will not watch on principle.
It's not a bad film if you just think, this is not supposed to be accurate, this is just entertainment and it's going to be painful. So, I'm fairly sure that's it, although I might be mistaken because we've really gone off on quite a few tangents while filming this. There might be a blooper reel coming if you're interested in that. I'm probably put it on my vlog channel so that it doesn't clutter up the space here. Although, given that this is the Madhouse, weirdness isn't exactly out of the question. How dare you. I shall never forgive you for that.
Happy Tuesday.
You have stolen my culture.
Are you triggered?
Let's have that conversation another time. But if you did enjoy this, and of course, click like. Feel free to share this everywhere because I'm an egomaniac who loves to have my voice heard by as many people as possible.
Click down there to subscribe. Join the Madhouse, please.
Yes, thank you. He's taking over, obviously. And there was something else, I cannot remember it. Of course, comment, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you share our anger, or do you see it as being largely pointless and we should just accept this as a minor victory? I will disagree with you, but I shall be polite with it, because I am interested to know why you feel that way. Anything else you'd like to add?
Kumquats.
What about them?
I don't know, I just like the word.
Okay. I want Jaffa cakes now.
Why does kumquats make you think of Jaffa cakes?
I don't know. Tatty buys. Are you done now?
Yes.
Okay.
Ohne dich hat der Regen keine Tropfen. Ohne dich hat das Meer keine Flut. Ohne dich hat der Berg keinen Gipfel. Ohne dich ist mein Herz ohne Glut.